What's up guys, ProdiJay here, or you can just call me Jay, and today I'll be showing off 10 of the most magnificent Android games out there with the best graphics. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So kicking things off, we got Run Sackboy Run, which is basically one of the best endless runner games out there. You play as the character Sackboy, and the main goal of the game is to get as far as you can throughout the world without dying, which at first it does seem pretty easy to do, but as you continue on, the gameplay suit gets faster and harder as you avoid certain dangers throughout the world, which the world itself is basically one of my favorite things about this game. From the cartoonish look to the multiple 2D layer design, it's a pretty nice thing to look at, and to add on to that, as you continue to play the game, you over time acquire in-game currency, that of which you can spend on the variety of customization and upgrades available in the game, which does help prolong the fun experience for you, and I would highly recommend this game to anyone, as the controls are pretty simple and easy to use, as the only things you gotta control is when you want to jump by tapping or when you want to dash forward by swiping. Next up, we got Altos Adventure, one of the most beautiful, minimalistic games in the Play Store. You play as a snowboarder named Alto, and like the previous game, this is basically an endless runner except that you're snowboarding. But for this game, the main goal is to continue down the mountain, avoiding rocks, jumping over chasms, collecting coins, and at the same time, collect your escaped llamas. But the main thing that this game excels in are the clean visuals that make the game look so appealing, and at the same time, make your gaming experience relaxing. And as you're going down the mountain, you can't help but appreciate the clean graphics in the game, along with the immersive music that comes with it. And unlike most other runners, the pace of the game is all decided on you. If you want to go slow and just enjoy the relaxing scenery, you can do that. If you want the game to be fast paced and do multiple tricks along the way, you can do that. But in general, I just love how the game allows you to basically have full control of the gameplay, while at the same time letting it be a peaceful experience. And there are other characters you can play as in the game, but unfortunately you would have to pay to unlock them. Now moving on, we got ShadowMatic, a game that's main goal is to manipulate irregular looking objects in order for the shadows to form different shapes, which to me is a brilliant concept, but at the same time it does get pretty hard when you don't have a clue on what the shadow is supposed to be forming. But I like this game for that, because it does add that nice touch of a challenge, making you think more creatively on how to pass the level, as each level does get harder than the last. And to add on to that, the graphics in this game just look phenomenal, as the objects themselves look highly detailed, and lighting in this game is just amazing. Next up we got Fern Flower, which is a really simple but beautiful game. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, as all you do is tap left and right to slowly climb up the mountain, but if you stop tapping then you will fall off the mountain, ending the game. But some of you might be wondering what's the point in this. Well, the point of the game is have you relax, as it does come with a nice soft soundtrack along with ambient sounds, and the level design of this game just looks nice and sharp, especially when you get higher up on the mountain as the game slightly gets harder. But my favorite part of Fern Flower is how the level design changes here and there, so you're not doing the exact same moves as before every time you start the game. And for a bonus, there are other characters in the game that you can unlock the more you play the game. Now for something more fun, we got Rayman Adventures, which is one of my favorite games on the list, as it does provide that fast-paced, joyful thrill as you run through the different levels, beating enemies, finding different treasures, challenges, and minigames, and more. I also love these type of games that have cartoony art styles, because they do make the game seem more vibrant and fun. And although this game has a cartoony art style, it is provided with quality graphics, as everything looks very smooth and nice. And to add on to this, you can customize Rayman with different costumes that you can buy just by using the gems you earn in the game. But overall, Rayman Adventures has a lot more to offer, as I've only gone over a few good things, and I would highly recommend this game if you like to play something cartoony and fast paced. Next up we got the game Orbea, and Orbea is definitely one of the hardest games on the list, as it does test your reaction skills. But in this game, you play as this little furry creature in this minimal but beautiful world, and the objective is to get as high as you can by dashing between the enemies, and you control each dash with one tap, which at first the game is pretty easy, but once you get to levels around 50, it gets extremely hard. And the crazy part about this game is that there are 3 available worlds, one world with 400 levels, second world with 500 levels, and the world that I'm currently playing on has 600 levels, which is just crazy to me because I started struggling around level 50 in the world. So the thing that there are over 1000 levels in this game alone is pretty insane, so you will definitely be busy for quite some time. But although this game may be challenging, it is at the same time beautiful and soothing, as the background provides great color and contrast, and the music is just delightful to listen to. And even though I said the game is hard, I do like that by having one-touch controls, it does allow for anyone to try and play the game with ease. And honestly, this is one of those games you have to keep on your phone, because there are literally hundreds of levels to play through, with each one being more challenging than the other. But I will have to note that this game does have ads, but in my opinion, I don't really think it's a big problem, as it doesn't cover up much of your screen. So moving on, we got Redden, and this is an interesting game, as it is an archery game where you kill certain animals and do some assassinations, but in Redden, instead of controlling the archer, you're actually controlling the arrow, and you can destroy bushes, killing tiny animals, and just ride the winds. And along with the core game mechanic, I really do enjoy the simple dark theme, as throughout the levels, the game continues to tell a story. And my favorite part about this game is that as levels get harder, it feels more rewarding once you beat the level, so I would highly recommend that you download this game if you are a fan of accuracy and precision. Now for the next game, we got Limbo, and this is basically the best puzzle adventure game that I've ever played. You play as this boy that wakes up in the middle of the forest, and from there, your main goal is keep moving and not die. And this may be hard as there are multiple obstacles and different enemies that will try and kill you, but this game is pretty creative because as you play, you're given a lot of puzzles that you have to solve, and along with this, everything is in black and white, giving it a creepy vibe as you play. Plus, the sound design in this game is just great as it does fit perfectly with the creepy theme of this. And the best part about this game is that there are no cutscenes or loading screens, as it is only just you and your character. Next up, we got Leo's Fortune, which by far has some of the best graphics for a 2D layered game. The art style is pretty similar to the Sackboy game, as the game is based on multiple 2D layers, giving more depth into the gameplay. But anyway, the game is about this green rolling creature named Leo that sets out on a quest to recover his stolen treasure, and throughout this quest, he must go through different puzzles and obstacles in order to make it to the end. And you can control Leo by sliding across the ground and inflating his body, which speaking of his body, the game does a fantastic job of making all the hair extremely detailed and quite frankly, very close to console graphics in my opinion, which I would like to say that this adventure platformer is one of the best games on this list by far, but I will note that this game does cost about $5 on an iTunes store for iOS and is actually not on the Play Store. But I will leave a link to the game through Aptoide, which will make it free. And now for our final game, which I guess you could say is my #1 favorite, is Vainglory, one of the best mobile games for Android. And to summarize this game, it's basically a simplified version of League of Legends and Dota 2, but the goals are largely the same. You got 2 teams of 5 with each person picking their favorite character, as there are over 37 unlockable characters and skins in the game. You play on a 3-lane map, and the main goal is to destroy the enemy team's crystal. But trust me, if you are a fan of mobile games, this will for sure be if you ever want to play on mobile. And Vainglory does have all the general mechanics of a good MOBA with different characters, different upgrades, character builds, and more. And if you didn't know, there are Vainglory esports teams, which doesn't surprise me because this game is definitely one of the best mobile games on mobile, and it does require both skill and teamwork to win. And the matches usually last around 25 minutes, but overall, I just love Vainglory because the game mechanics are pretty polished and the graphics in this game are pretty good, especially when compared to other games like Dota 2 and such. And that, my friends, was 10 of the best magnificent Android games out there with some of the best graphics that I think you should be playing right now. And if you think I missed a game that has great graphics, be sure to leave a comment down below because I do want to hear you guys have to say, and because I do love responding to everyone's comments. But I think that's gonna wrap it up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, drop a like and subscribe for more quality content like this because I do plan on making more videos like this one. So be sure to have notifications on so you won't miss any of my videos. My name's ProdiJay, and like always, stay classy.